Okay, today is December 22nd, 2023. I uploaded a video a little bit ago about 12/21/18. I told you this whole thing is a scam from that agent out of the area. Okay? His family, the Michelle, the Alec, the Bill from the Freemasons, retired Judge Pete. It's his family and his drug friends running this big scam. And they're laughing, nobody stopped them. And other sheriffs that are retired that I'm friends with from out there, they're like, it's nothing but shouts. What's going on with you? And are your local police slow? They should arrested that agent and judge right away on the first day. They can't do any of this. No, they can't. And that ought to curl people's toenails. But 12/21/18, I was in police protective custody at home. Okay, the protective custody case had started September 27th, 18. Okay, an officer talked to David, made Karen around the house or Karen's will. What officers in uniform call it. Okay, and but I had got a shower that morning. I had went to the refrigerator to get juice. I opened up the refrigerator, and someone stabbed me in the neck. Foggy, hazy, dark, bright light. Felt myself cry, and I woke up 6 hours later in bed. My hair is missing in the back of my head, and I have a big dent. And another man's come on the dresser. And I got marks on my neck. I got it on my body. I got it everywhere. Dave comes in. He accuses me of having an affair, and he's screaming at me. And I didn't know what happened to me. My head's pounding. I'm nauseous, and I'm sick. Dear God, somebody bashed me in the back of the head so bad they did it in my skull. Okay? And I'm like, I don't know what happened. All right? And I go back to bed. And I remember the comb. It was like a white comb, and it was on his dresser. And he's screaming at me. I didn't know. Last thing I remembered was a refrigerator. And so, okay. By January 4th to 9th of 19, in the protective custody case, I meet my ex-friend Darlene down at Bob Evans in Belden. I walk by that white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side that they called Alec or Alex. Looks just like retired Judge Pete, and a kid that looks like my son Joshy, and there was two other guys, okay? Said, you idiot, right? You left your comb over on that dresser. He's like, hey, I had a naked lady laying next to me. You're lucky I only combed her hair. And he's in there admitting he kidnapped me in my own home that day and was part of that violent assault in front of people. My phone's tapped. And I'm just looking at him like, my God. What was he doing holding me down in bed? He broke in my, it was my husband's girlfriend's brother or cousin doing it to me with his dirty drug friends. Breaking in the wife's home and amnesia drugging her and beating her under amnesia drugs and caving her head in. They're lucky they didn't kill me. They made up a scenario to cover it that they had put some kind of chip in me. Well, you could puppy chip anybody dear God, people do that in businesses so that they can just go in and clock out. They do it for dogs to trace them, then people do it in businesses to clock in and clock out computers and everything else. Okay? And I'm just looking, I'm like, you couldn't have done that. I was out for 6 hours. Okay? And then they're making up all kinds of crazy scenarios. Some guy came up to me and this other guy around him said, people are creatures of habit. They go places, they shop places, they eat places. They say the same thing all the time. You do. You have a certain way of reacting. It takes a little bit of time, but you can actually guess what people are going to say once you get to know them. Dave and I could be in the same room and he would be talking about something and I look up and I go to answer him before you can even say it. And he would laugh at me. We were married 33 years. I knew his answers. So it wouldn't take long to learn what someone say. So, we got a mind reader, we got this, we got that. It's a scam. It's just watching somebody. Now, I did figure out, like I said, it's a big scam. You got to figure out what they're doing. Like where the shower scene in the other room for the we're gonna put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. And then what would make you look weird with yourself when you're not weird with yourself? And da 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 da. It's like it's a shower scene, right? You walk outside. They figured out what they did. Ha 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 ha. Just like the sodium pentothal reports when there's no such thing because you lie under it's lethal and outlawed, and then they laugh that you figured out it. They're out there bragging they use date rape drugs on you. So I had like Canton officers walk by their phone ding. It said my name, my address, and we'll walk on. Well, my phone's tapped from the case. And it records if I'm on it or not. And these people hacked into it and sold it. That's where Burlington Coat Factory, where the guy admitted to drugging and telling me to say stuff. People ran and Save a Lot. My client lives on 6th Street in Canton in the brown house across from his apartment building. The African American man ran out, yelled it to the postman. The postman's like, we all heard it. Well, they all heard that Alec, or Alex, what they called him, admit to kidnapping me in my home and holding me down with whatever assault that was going on. And it's Michelle's brother and his drug friends. I want you to think of that. My husband's girlfriend that I don't know about, her brother and his drug friends breaking in my house and stabbing me in the neck with the amnesia drug, bashing me in the back of the head so bad they dent my skull, and then hold me down whatever they were doing to me under amnesia drugs and leaving marks. It's probably why I have weird memories of screaming and fear and nothing attached to it, and footsteps. Yeah. Weird memories that aren't attached to anything. Okay? It was probably them beating the hell out of me or bashing the back of my head in. I told you, they went so elaborate with that chip. March 13, 21, they told them in a hospital, Dr. Alan somebody had chipped me. And like I said, you can puppy chip anything, and people use microchips in businesses to get in and out of secure buildings. But yeah, more likely it's just a big scam again. And that's where they want to just make you look crazy. And so no one will believe you, because where they just bash me in the back of the head and let their friends beat a confession out and rape and torture me, and it's a new girlfriend's brother and his drug friends doing it to you, then make up the psycho stuff because their dad's an FBI agent. And their grandpa's a retired judge. Make up the psycho stuff so it sounds crazy when she says it. Well, I'm not the one that's saying it. I'm the one repeating it. And I wasn't the only one you told it to. You told it to Dr. Alan on March 13, 21. Canton Police actually showed up last year when they started looking into everything. Said, well, we went to Dr. Alan. We didn't even think about what she said before. They actually did tell him that. They told a lot of people that. And it's a big scam. What they do is they watch your behavior and learn your manner of talk. And then guess what you're going to say. And how you would react to things. And then, and it's not hard. It's not hard. It's all a scam. It's a front. It's like a marble shell game. They roll it around until you don't know where the marble is. It is just a shell game. They are putting an illusion. They did this, an illusion. But just watching behavior, what you would say, what you would think, and then have someone yell it out, and it's a good hit or miss. And because people are creatures of habit, the way they talk, they act, and they respond, it takes them a hot moment to learn how they would react. And what they would say. All right. It's just a big scam. And that way it looks like you're crazy because you said what they said. They did. It's not that you're crazy when you repeat them. What you're saying is they're actually that off the chart insane of saying it when they actually kidnapped you and assaulted you. And then made up psycho stuff that they were doing this. They don't realize how psycho they look. See, that's where I told you, even my one client that had anger issues last year, where they had these little girls come in and sick they raped her. They sick they raped her. Well, I was so horrified and so upset of these little children seeing this rape. I was like shaking. And he's like, I had a friend that showed one nude picture to a little kid, and that's pedo shit. Now, I think he was trying to tell me what these people did to me was pedo shit, where they're the child molesters. I was so upset I wasn't listening to what he said. Because even teenagers were saying, we all know they raped her and that was wrong. It's a federal crime. This whole thing is federal crimes. That's why they're laughing they're getting away with it. It's all federal crimes. And then them showing a real rape to little 5-year-old girls, it is child molesting. That's when that teacher, or not the teacher, when the mother yelled out, the police yelled outside, where they're saying, we all know that the teenager said, we all know they raped her. And then to show that rape to a little 5-year-old, that is child molesting stuff. And the mother yelled out, the police already said not to say anything to her. There's large men down here looking for him because they all know they stole a large amount of money from the case. And so, even teenagers are calling these people child molesters. That agent, Michelle's dad, the agent out of the area, him showing pornography to little 5-year-old kids of a real rape and torture. He's mentally ill and he is a child molester. He is a drug dealer, him paying off with these drug dealers that he had down here helping drugging me up, him selling the login to make extra money, him stealing the witness protection program money that was due to me, over $300,000. He's horrible. He's a monster from hell. And his sons and his daughter are thinking they can rape and torture anybody because they're sexual predators, that he can stalk anybody, Photoshop scenes outside of cases, that he can do anything he wants to people. He can't. He's just a hired cop that they need arrest. That is who the FBI hunts, or the Secret Service, or the Marshals. He can't do any of these crimes. He is not immune. And stealing that much money from the case. And then people let their kids go out with him. And the little kids that come back, it's sick, they raped her, it's sick. He took little tiny children and showed them rapes. And hurt their little minds and hearts. And did he date, rape, drug them with amnesia drugs and rape them too? Because why would you show it to babies? See, this has got to the point. People are not thinking just how evil, and this is just drug dealers in it with that rogue agent. He did open the protected light case. This where different police departments know of it, so that he could embezzle $300,000 from the witness protection program. And people laugh that he's doing it. You think it's funny that some drug up agent in it with drug dealers that he owed money came up with this big scam to pay him off, to embezzle money out of the witness protection program? And then to sell police information to make more money and keep up the terrorism on the wife of his new girlfriend's new boyfriend. His daughter's new boyfriend has a wife, and so they're going to terrorize the wife and then steal the witness protection program money and rape and torture her and drug the hell out of her and let the drug dealers have at her and then sell videos of it. How sick is he? And then to show it to children? You think it's funny that a hired cop should get away with any of those crimes when the President of the United States wouldn't get away with it? Domestic terrorism is a group of people to further their own ideology, their way of belief, with threats or harm to human life, with either religious or political backing against the United States constitutional laws. This is domestic terrorism. They are showing pornography to minors and of real rape and torture, selling of police information, embezzlement of government funds out of the witness protection program, the informant program, and then doing drugs down here, drugging up people, rape, torturing them, and putting the money in their dirty pockets in their drug dealing friends. And it's not funny that agent, and then showing it to children, it is child molesting. And these people have let their kids go off with drug dealers that were amnesia drugging people and raping them. And there's probably a good chance they got violated too and wouldn't even know it. And the people need to realize how sick Michelle's family is. And they need to start turning them in left and right. Because none of this is funny. It's just a big scam that they could do any of this. They can't do any of it. And what stopped them, actually, they've got this far, is people's lack of not wanting to do their job. Because even like the sheriffs that I talked to, even local police could arrest them. And let's see. And people not wanting to turn them in for what they did. Now, is it funny? Just a rogue agent out of his area. His daughter is dating somebody's husband behind their back, and the wife, they trick her into getting into the witness protection program because the husband had been trying to kill her before. Him to steal the witness protection program money and put it in his own pocket, get his drug dealing friends to drug up the wife, assault her, sexually assault her, human traffic her, and then show it to small children. There are some severe federal crimes done here, and people need to start acting like human beings again and start being mad. Like, I go out other places, they're like, we all know none of this is funny. Everybody knows none of this is funny.